You're listening to Recovery Survey, the podcast that shatters stigmas around different types of addictions and takes a deep dive into spiritual principles.
I find a lot of wisdom that comes from your show. You interview different people, and I know you just do an overall good job, and you're a blessing to recovery in general. So I want to make that very clear for the record that I love the movement that you have, what you're doing. You're saving lives, and you're educating and informing people. And I think that's important.
I want to thank my friends at Recovery Survey for giving me the opportunity to talk to them about my recovery journey.
Thank you for having me on the new podcast that you just developed, which is unbelievable, Recovery Survey Podcast. I really appreciate what you're doing and been doing and continue doing.
Our guest today is named Curt, and he's the founder of Skate Straight. He's here to tell us a little bit more about his Sober Skate Collective. Welcome to the show, Curt.
Yeah, I'll start with how I ended up in recovery. You know, in the skateboard culture, it's a party culture. So I had been, since I started skateboarding in 8th grade, I've been around drinking beer and going to parties and hanging out with all the rough and tumble dudes from Texas. That was part of our lifestyle. Part of skateboarding was getting messed up and still, skating every day. And it was just, you just kept going and kept going. And then, we got to our older years and it tapered off for a little bit when I had kids and stuff. But then when I got older, I was home more often, owned my own business, was somewhat successful, and just drinking got heavier and heavier. And then I started feeling like, okay, this is an issue. It was causing problems with me and my family. And I've realized I wasn't going to hit a bottom. There wasn't going to be no bottom, financial bottom for me. And so my wife goes, you need to get help. And I go, yeah, you're right. I went to rehab. And when I was in rehab, I was new to recovery, didn't know anything about it, didn't know anything about AA or NA or any of that stuff. We had to be a part of it. Was mandatory that we go to AA meetings. And I was like, this is awful. This is my life. This is what I got to do for the rest of my life, is go to these meetings. And I just didn't connect with the people there. I felt like an outcast. And like, there's got to be something else. There's got to be something different, for like the freaks and the weirdos and the artists, the people that, think outside the box, the skaters. And that's what gave me the idea. In rehab, I'd met another skateboarder and I was like, God, this is awful. We should really do something that's skateboard related, but sober, and that's how it started. And when I got out, I still went to AA, and I got involved with Smart Recovery and then started going to that. I really like it. It's more like a process group, more like a support group. I ended up becoming a facilitator, which is basically like a person who leads meetings and studies. It's Smart Recovery is an acronym for self-manage and recovery training. So it's like AA, but it's you take care of yourself. You don't have a sponsor. You learn how to change your behaviors and your processes in life and self-manage your own recovery. And I liked that better. And so when I started doing that, and I talked to my friend who is another skater buddy of mine who owns a private skate park, and we were both close with people. We've lost people from drugs and alcohol. And I said that, hey, this is something I'd like to do. And he goes, totally, you have full reign, whatever day you want, you can start doing a meeting here. And then when that happened, I started promoting it, and it started getting more feedback, and that turned into not just skaters, it was artists, chefs, all kinds of, there's waiters there, just everybody came out of the woodwork. They're like, we really like this. It's open, it's free, we don't have a lot of rules. That's when we started doing it once a week, and then it became twice a week where we just meet and skateboard. It's we're like a support group, but we also have like activities there. Like we were doing yoga at one point before the virus hit. We started doing that, and there was skateboarding. It was more like a collective. People were hanging out, and it was like a sober, safe environment, for everybody that's in recovery. People always ask me, like, can we just come and skate? I'm like, yeah, it's just when you're here, like, leave your vices at the door. It's just it's a sober, safe place, which is weird to say to me. Like, you'd think that a skate park would be a sober place, but it's that culture is so ingrained around, mind altering substances that it's almost like a mandatory, like if you do this, you do this. And I just wanted to offer a place that was different from that. And I've gotten a lot of really positive feedback, and it's been really good. And part of sobriety is service work. And that's when we got involved with the Harvest Project and doing some stuff with Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. So it's kind of turned into, or it's a still evolving group,
That's awesome, man. So are you just have a group here in Dallas, or do you have them around the country, or what does that look like?
Well, when I first started doing this, I started getting a lot of people reaching out to me going, "Hey, I love what you guys are doing. Is there any way we could do it? Is there any way we could do it here?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course." It's just, you have a group of people, you meet at a skate park. There's so many public skate parks in the United States now. I was like, just get a group together. I go, I'll do all the artwork for you, because Skate Straight says Dallas, Texas in the logo. And I'll change it. So I had sent some artwork to a guy. They're starting a group in Wisconsin. And some guy reached out to me in San Diego. And I haven't done the artwork for him yet, but they're interested in doing one there. The cool thing about it is I just wanted to have a place to go and still be in recovery and still have people, helping people that are just starting out in recovery or want to see what it's like to be in recovery. And I just wanted a safe space for them to be able to like kind of, dip their big toe and see because a lot of these people, they won't even go to an AA meeting, but they'll go, oh, it's just skateboarding. They'll go to that. And then when they hear that, like, we do smart recovery, we do AA, basically are open to anything. As long as you're being in recovery, we're good with it. And it's led into people actually getting more involved in recovery and different types of recovery too, which has been great. But I'm like, I want everybody to do it. I think everybody should be able to do it. I want it to branch out and be a bigger thing, but I don't want it to be like where it's a strict rules, there should be their own group. They should, maintain it themselves, their own entity there, and whatever help, if they wanted, I told the guy in Wisconsin, I was like, hey, any questions you have, how we do it, we do field trip meetings where we go to another skate park in Dallas, or, sometimes we have meetings outside on the ramp, just anything just to keep it fresh and different, I didn't want to have a lot of structure to it.
Man, I love what you're doing. It's so cool to see how the recovery community continues to grow and change and evolve. And I love that you're taking the meetings to the skate parks, to where the addicts are at, and you're doing what you love and you're doing it clean, man. I think that's absolutely incredible.
And somebody that if we did a field trip meeting and we went to Plano skate park, and there's a whole group of people that came to it just because we were there. One of the guys that comes to our group ever since the beginning goes, hey, we should go to this park and meet there. And I go, that's a good idea. We should. We'll call it a field trip. He goes, yeah, that's great. That's exactly how it happened. And we went out there. We promoted it as we were going there. And then like 4 or 5 new people showed up. And one of those people then right after that added themselves to the Facebook page. They do the online meetings when we do them online. They wanted to come to we were going to do our first in-person meeting back at 4 Down Skate Park today before this all changed. And they were going to come to that. So it gathers steam. I don't discount AA and what it does for people. I think AA is great. If you believe in God, it's even better because that you already have a built-in system. And I love the fellowship there because these are a group of people that have been through something similar that you've been through. Their recovery is their recovery. They want to have the higher power and they want to have the other things that AA provides. That's great. And I think that it's all good. The way I look at my sobriety is like a tabletop, and I need those different legs. I need to have smart recovery. I need to have meditation. I want AA because I like having the fellowship of other people that have been through the same scenarios as I have. But that doesn't mean every person is going to like AA or smart recovery. A lot of people have showed up at the skate park and completely thought it was weird and left. And I get it. It's not for everybody. Their journey is their journey. We're the people that don't really know where to go, so we all congregate to one table. And that's usually how Skate Straight has gained momentum, is because it's like, oh, I get what these guys are doing, because I've walked into those rooms, and just because I can adapt and talk to people there doesn't mean everybody can. And walking into a room full of weirdos is probably way better than going into a room full of people you don't know. They're all older. They don't get anything that you've been through in your life, and they're not gonna understand you, and you're definitely not gonna understand them. We kind of provide that other middle section, that gray area.
I love that you're showing people in recovery that we can still do the things that we love and that we're passionate about, and we can do them in a new way, and we can do them clean. Man, that's absolutely incredible.
Well, and there's one of the guys that comes to the group has said this, and I never thought of this until he brought it up during a meeting. He said, I couldn't go skate anymore because everybody that I grew up skating with all still uses, and I can't be around it at all. Like, I can't go to bars, I can't go see shows. And I thought I'd lost skateboarding too. This gave him an opportunity to, like, oh, I don't have to be around that. I could actually go here, and then I could be around it again. And so it brought back a whole new passion for it, because he thought, well, now that I'm sober, I can't do any of this stuff. And that's not true. You know, we're all older. I mean, well, not all. There's some guys that skate there that are really good. but I mean, a lot of the guys that are older guys that are my age, they're getting back into it because oh yeah, this is something I can do, and I can do it with people. And you get to meet new connections and meet other guys that are, or other people that are, you know, involved into the same things you're into. And it's really, it's what I like. What I'd love to see is someone comes to a meeting, they're new, they meet the group, and then I start seeing them commenting on each other's stuff on the Facebook page, and before you know it, like at a meeting, they're like, yeah, we went and hung out the other day. That's amazing to me, because there's that fellowship. It's the same thing. You know, you get to make these connections, and all of a sudden everybody has support for each other. And you can have those friends that are also know what your struggle's like, you know, been through it. Can't go to those shows because their friends are all, well, now you have a group of friends you can go to shows with or go out to eat with without worrying about somebody drinking or doing drugs, you know. It's providing that other level of sobriety, you know, that a lot of people that they're in the group still do all their other programs. I mean, whatever they're doing, they just come to Skate Straight once a week and hang out, and it's like a group of friends. The positivity that it's come from it has been amazing. I mean, it's good for me too, because it keeps me one whole, but also I have something I have to do every week. Like, I have to be a part of it. I have to go there. It's either me or another facilitator facilitates the meetings. It's one more the layer of sobriety for me, and hopefully it's that way for other people too. I thought for sure when I first started my recovery, there's got to be a million of these, because not everybody is going to be that skated is going to continue on this party path, because it leads to two places: death or jail. You know, that's it. You know, and I couldn't find any. I was super surprised. I mean, there's other groups. There's like an artist group in LA that meets. There are artists, musicians, and actors, but like, I couldn't find anybody. I've seen people that do, like, they speak about skateboarding and stuff, but there wasn't an actual group. And I was like, I can't believe that. I mean, I'm never the first one in anything. There has to be more out there. So, I mean, and I hope it just catches on, because I think there's a lot of guys that are involved in AA and other forms of recovery that skateboard and go to punk shows, and they're artists or musicians. And I would love for them to all take what I've done, and just take it and go and run and start groups everywhere. That would be amazing to me. What we're doing, and it's still evolving, because we've only been doing it for about 6 months now, has been super positive, and it's been great. It's a great experience for me. And, you know, like I said, the people that were like the first people there, they're like all learning to be facilitators and start their, you know, doing their own meeting. We started a Tuesday meeting at Guapo, and it's just straight skating. There's no meeting to it. It's just a meetup. You know, it's like a group of skaters that are all sober and just go meet up. And then now, like, they want to do one on Sundays. So it's like, well, man, I can't be a part of everyone, but if you guys want to go meet, you totally should. And that's kind of been the good thing about it, is people, you know, coming together and meeting and being able to go hang out. And it's been really positive, and I just hope it continues on, even when I'm gone and out of it or whatever, I hope that it continues and keeps moving forward. To me, it's not like a business or anything. It's just a collective of people, supporting each other.
How can people connect with you or find out more about your group?
The Facebook page is where we do a lot of it's a private closed page, but you can look us up on there. It's Skate Straight Dallas. The Instagram page is at Skate Straight Dallas. Anybody that wants to follow us or join the pages, you can see all the events and stuff that we're involved in right now. We're getting heavily involved with feeding the homebound veterans and underprivileged children from DISD in Dallas. We do that on Thursdays, and that's one of our new projects. That's part of our service work, giving back to the city. Yeah, and then we meet at Four Down when the virus isn't happening. Four Down Skate Park is near Deep Ellum.
Curt, thank you so much for sharing with us about Skate Straight. I love what you're doing in the recovery community as well as the skateboarding community. I think it's absolutely amazing. And the links for his Facebook and Instagram pages will be in the show notes. Thanks again, Curt. You've been listening to Recovery Survey. If you got anything out of today's episode, I'd ask you to please leave us a 5-star review and share this episode with a friend. If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can find us at recoverysurvey.com. You can listen to all of our episodes on the website as well as connect with us on social media where you can get previews for upcoming episodes.
So you love podcasts and you want to listen to more amazing content, but you have no idea what to listen to. And your friends keep telling you about great episodes, yet you can never remember what they told you. Well, here's the answer. Good Pods. It's the social app dedicated to podcasts where your friends, podcast listeners, and favorite podcast hosts all come together to share on their feeds what they recommend and what they listen to. You can connect to others, bookmark episodes, start a conversation about the episode, connect to the hosts, and most importantly, listen to great podcasts right in the Good Pods app. Download Good Pods wherever you get your apps and start sharing with a community that loves to listen. Good Pods. It's where to connect and listen.